Thinking of playing Napoleon against Russia from Smolensk to Maloyaroslavets, August 15th to October 24th, 1812. Part of the Library of Napoleonic Battles series. Okay, I'm going to look at the second player turn, which is identical to the first player turn with just roles reversed. In this case, the second player is the Russian player. Start phase, we have nothing to do here. Weather segment, that's only actually the first player. And then card segment. So weather segment and card segment for the start phase. Nothing to look at there here at this time. So we go into the command phase, supply segment. So I think I want to pull out the baggage trains for the Russians here, but let's first take a look at who we're looking at here. We do have a officer. So officer or commander? That is I think that's an officer. So we have Platov of the Cossack cavalry. Green, so it's the green formation. So green, 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 and green. So I'm going to look in the counter mix and see what is the relevant baggage train for these troops. Okay, well, right off the bat, in the game-specific rules, we have among the formations listed that have no baggage trains are the two Cossack corps of Platov and Karpov. So I don't think that Platov here has a baggage train. So these units can trace supply to any friendly baggage train or supply source within reach. Okay, well, not sure what I'm going to do, but I will cover well, so I'm going to take a look at the supply rules here. So there's a baggage and pontoon trains section of the rules, and so 18.2 of the rules is baggage trains. Most baggage trains belong to a specific formation as shown by their command designation. Some baggage trains are generic for a given side. Each corps baggage train can provide supply to all units in its formation within range, plus one stack of units from a different formation. However, any formation or individual unit without a dedicated baggage counter, none provided in the counter mix, so that would be our case, may trace supply to any friendly baggage train, each stack to a different baggage train. Okay, well, what to do here? So this is what I've done. So first of all, I'm looking on the turn record track. I won't bother showing it because it's upside down right now, but I don't see any specific reference to baggage trains. I'm going to check the unit listings again, the setup cards. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do. I'll probably just ignore supply, certainly for the first, well, for now. One thing I do know, it's fairly clear that this Russian supply source here on the map can supply out to 14 hexes. And I wonder, I guess there is no limit to the number of troops it can supply. So it's 14 hexes just straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I guess those ones are beyond. But again, I'm not sure what to do about that at this point. So, all right, we'll go on. Okay, so we should be able to look at Russian command here. So the command segment, well, where I left off was supply segment of the command phase. There's the recovery segment and reorganization segment, no different than the French first player turn. So now we have the command segment again, identical to the earlier French one. So first 5 steps again. First, the player removes all out of command markers from his forces. Then the phasing player allocates his command points, placing officers and combat units within command range in command. So setting aside the issue of supply, let's assume that There was nothing with the whole supply thing earlier. I think that Platov there will be able to place units in command. Okay, so phasing player moves. No. Okay, well, the point is commanders use command points to put officers and combat units in command, but we don't have a commander on the board right now. Platov here is an officer, so I think that we skip that step and we go to conduct initiative checks for any or all officers not placed in command by a commander. Technically, Platov here was not placed in command by a commander. So I guess he has to do an initiative check. So his initiative value is 3. Yeah. Well, 6, which is probably not good. 2, conduct an initiative check for officers not receiving direct command. So Platov here is not receiving direct command. Roll the die. If the result is equal to or less than his initiative, the officer is in command and all units in his formation within command range are also in command. If the die roll was greater than the initiative rating, place an out of command marker on the officer. So we do that. An officer out of command because he reorganized units. Okay. So combat unit initiative checks. That's what I was wondering. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's not during the command segment here. So to finish this off, we place out of command markers on all forces not in command. Wow, do I have to do everybody there? I'm not sure about this, but I guess that seems excessive, but I don't know. Well, let's see. If an entire corps is out of command, place the out of command marker on the corps officer who has failed his initiative. That's what I thought I remembered. Thought I remember reading that. All of Platov's forces here out of command. Now, I think what it's saying is if individual units of a corps are in command, while the rest of the corps is out of command, place in command markers on the units in command and place the out of command marker on the corps officer. Okay, so I think you could have a situation where Platov's corps is out of command except for this Cossack horse artillery, which is in command, and you put the in command marker on them. Okay, so by exception, I guess you could say. Alright, so pontoon bridges may be reconfigured. Okay, that's the command segment. Now we go on to the movement phase, the command movement segment. Well, we're moving all the forces that are in command, so there aren't any. Then we go, when you're all done with that, then you go to the initiative movement segment. I think here is where combat unit initiative checks. During the initiative movement segment, that's where we are now, out of command units may check for initiative. I think this is what I want to do. You can bypass your corps officers and rely upon the initiative of individual units if you wish to do so. However, if you roll first for an officer's initiative, which we did, then any of his units that are out of command range may not roll for initiative. Oh. Then any of his units that are in command range may not roll for initiative. Okay. I think I understand that to mean that 3 hexes within range here. 1, 2, 3. So I think these two, I think maybe a way to look at it is these two can roll for initiative, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for Tadnikov there. He rolls a 5, so he is not gonna make it. Oh, there we go. It's the Cossack Horse Artillery. Okay, so here I guess we are gonna put in command unit on Cossack Horse Artillery. All right. So then I think they get to move normally. Okay, before I forget, that's not it. They're not in command. I mean, they're rolling for initiative. They're going to move, but they're still out of command. I don't know how else to put that, but officers who successfully roll for initiative are in command. Individual units that successfully roll for initiative remain out of command. Okay. So does that mean... So does that mean I have to put that on there? But in any case, I think I move right now. I think it's unit by unit. Check, move, check, move, check, move. So let's do some movement. Got this horse artillery here. Okay, I'm gonna change something as I learned about road movement here. It seems to me that it makes sense that actually the Russian player would want to start, certainly I would think, with these two units in road march. I'm just assuming that they can start in road march. I don't see why they wouldn't. And probably even this one. At a minimum. So now, when we go to movement, the initiative movement and the Cossack Horse Artillery successfully rolled against its initiative, it is going to follow the road 1 hex. It can't. Okay, so units in road march may move through and end the movement phase adjacent to friendly units that are not in road march. However, units in road march may not move through a hex containing other units in road march. Okay. Nor may other units move through units in road march. So I don't think he can pass that unit.